What is up, guys? Thrash here, bringing you my very first video, and I am so excited to launch this channel. Paintball is something that has become a big part of my life. I really love it, and recently it dawned on me that, hey, as much as I'm playing this, I should be recording my gameplays, and if I can help some new guys learn a little bit about the game, even better. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Let me be the very first to welcome you. Probably be the only to welcome you, and that's fine. But I am Thrash Paintball, and this is my new channel. Welcome, guys, to the video. Now, before I even get into the video, and don't get me wrong, guys, I will put a timestamp in the description of the video so we can skip right to the actual tips. But before we get to that point, I do want to give a bit of a channel introduction, so bear with me on that. But if you guys don't really care about all that and you just want to see my tips for beginner players, go ahead and check the description below and click the timestamp and you will get to that point. And thanks for watching this video. Now, a little bit about me. I actually got into paintball when I was about 10 years old. Me and my family moved to a neighborhood, and down the street there was another family that my parents kind of befriended. Of course, I befriended their kids. Their kids were super into paintball, and when I say they had gear laying around everywhere, I mean they had it everywhere. They had hella guns, they had hella paintball, like boxes of balls. They had everything. So, of course, one day it actually dawned on them and they invited me to come play paintball with them. I was a little weary about it, but I decided to give it a try. I was always a kid to kind of try new things, and I didn't have to pay a dime for it. They had whatever I needed. They had guns. They gave me a pod belt. They gave me pods. They gave me a whole box of paint to myself. They gave me everything I needed. And they assured me that I could come play paintball anytime I wanted to. They would pay for everything. They would give me everything as long as I just promised I would have a good time. And I did. So, of course, I played for, on and off throughout the years that I lived there. And then when I was about 14, I moved to my dad's house in Georgia. And I just kind of fell off of it. Well, more recently, and now this was years ago, I was, ages 10 through 12 through 14 or whatever. I'm now 25 years old. I'm about to be 26. And just recently, a very good friend of mine came to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing like a group meetup event for paintball. Would you like to come? And of course, I'm like, dude, like, I love paintball. Like, I haven't played in years. I'd love to get out there. And so we did. And I went and I played as a rental, which was a weird feeling because I've never done that before. And I had a really good time, and I decided to get back into paintball. And for the last about month and a half, I've been back playing nonstop every weekend. I've bought all my own gear. I've just gone crazy with it. And now I felt like now that I know what I know and I've gone through this new player process, even though I've played before, I wanted to kind of bring the knowledge to you guys and help some new players out there as well. I feel like I'm pretty good at this, and I wanted to record some gameplay. I'm into MagFed, I'm into Speedball, I'm into Woodsball, I'm into all of it. So I want to show all my gameplays for you guys, and I also want to be here to kind of be your friend to help guide you through this process if you're a new player, which if you're watching this video, more than likely you probably are. So once again, welcome to my channel. I am Thrash Paintball. Don't forget to subscribe if you do enjoy this video, and let's get right into it. So I'm going to give you guys 5 tips or 5 tips for beginner paintball players. These are going to kind of be tips to just let you know what you're getting yourself into if you've never played before, or if you haven't played in a really long time and you're looking to get back into it. So I'm going to go run through these. And also, if you guys can think of anything else, or maybe if you're a veteran player who just happened to have come across this and watched by curiosity, comment it down below and let's help these new guys like really get into the sport. There's only one way that this sport's going to continue to grow, and that's with the like unmatched support of one another. So let's get into it. So the very first tip that I want to give you guys is to make sure that you do your research before you ever step foot on the field. And what I mean by that is do your research on the sport. Familiarize yourself with the sport, the rules, the risks, all of those things. And you're also going to want to do some research on what the local fields available to you are. Different fields have different rules. They have different regulations. They have different processes. Some of them you actually have to fill out a waiver before you go, and some of them you don't. Some of them are more woodsball type places. Some of them are more speedball type places. Some of them only really MagFed players go play there. So it's good to know what you're getting into before getting into it. I would also say that you should research all the different types of paintball, figure out which one seems like it would appeal the most to you, and then go to the field that is more designated for that player base. Though, I will say in my area, pretty much all the fields are pretty much designated for anybody. Like, no matter what kind of paintball you like to play, there's something for you. But every area may not be like that. And you know, also too, like, there may only be one or two options in your area, so you may have to kind of, you know, figure out a way. If you want to be a MagFed player but you really only or live around speedball fields, you may have to figure out a way to adapt that and like be brave enough to go play MagFed on a speedball field and really hone in your skills. So you're just going to want to do your research and try to figure all of these things out beforehand. And I would say definitely important thing to research is whatever field you're going to go to, research their pricing. If you're going to go as a rental player, you need to figure out how much it's going to be to rent. You need to figure out how much it's going to cost for paint, because a lot of fields will only allow you to use field paint, and some of them that's cheaper. Like my local field, a box of 2,000 balls is $40, but a lot of them, it's a lot more expensive. So you do want to be aware of that. You want to figure it out. You want to make sure you're able to come with as much money as you possibly need. You're also going to want to make sure, because some fields are cash only, so you're going to want to make sure all these things. Check to see if they have food and drinks and just all of that. You want to know all of that before you ever step foot out there. Do your research on the sport. Do your research on the fields. That's going to help you a lot. And so the second tip that I want to give you guys is to make sure that you try before you buy. And what that means is, if you've never stepped foot on a paintball field before, you've never shot a paintball gun, I would say that it would be much more well advised to go out and play as a rental player and see if the sport is even something that you like before you go spend a bunch of money on gear. Now, if you have it like that, to just blow a bunch of money on gear and then never use it, like, by all means, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying, you know, before you waste your money and your energy, like, find out if it's something that you actually like. Because, I mean, that's how it is with life. Sometimes we really think that we're going to like something, and then when it all comes down to it, it's just not all that it was hyped up to be. And that's okay. That's normal. That's life. They make chocolate and vanilla for a reason. Like, people enjoy different flavors, and that's totally okay. What's great to other people may not be great to you. So you just want to find out, because paintball can be a bit of an expensive sport. I mean, between gear, buying paintballs, paying admission every week to get into your, you know, local place, like there's a lot of money that has to be spent. It is an expensive hobby, and it's like, don't go spend all this money on a gun and then it just turn into a novelty, because for all you know, that could be the last one and it could sell out, and there could be some other kid who might have enjoyed it a lot more that, you know, didn't get it, and you're not even using the gun, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things to factor in there. I mean, I know that's nobody's problem, but at the same time, man, you know, just it's better for everybody if you just make sure that you like the sport before you know, really put anything into it. The third tip that I want to give you guys, and this is a really, really important one. Don't be intimidated. Now, I can give you the best example of being intimidated is when I very recently got back into the sport. I bought all my own gear. I bought a jersey. I bought my own mask. I just thought I was that guy, and I walked out there the first time, and I had my barrel cover on, and I'm walking up to the field, and, you know, I've already paid. I'm getting ready to get in. I've got my hopper loaded, and I hear the bell ring, and I hear, walk on, walk on. And I was there as a walk-on, so I knew I was going to play as a walk-on. And I walked up to this group of people, and when I tell you, it looked like the professional paintball league out there. Guys had matching jerseys. They had their numbers on. They had these expensive guns that shoot 10 million miles an hour. And to add insult to injury, as I'm getting ready to go with this walk-on group, I hear a ref off in the distance count down the start of a game. So I turn and look, and as he says go, I just watch a bunch of people rush to the middle of the field, to the 50-yard line. They're all sliding behind their, you know, their bunkers and their barriers. And I mean, they're shooting these balls out of their guns, like 30 balls a second, and people are just getting leveled left and right. And it was scary, man. You know, I was still relatively new to it. You know, I had basically a semi-auto gun playing against a bunch of speedball players, and that was intimidating. But, I decided, hey, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to have fun. It doesn't matter. And I got out there my first game and I shot 3 people out. And I actually had a really good game. And all the guys on my team were super nice. They were super welcoming. There was even a guy that came up to me that day and was like, hey, I've got a speedball gun. I'm not going to play this round. Would you like to try it and see if it's something that you're into? Which kind of goes back to the try before you buy thing as well. And it was just a really great experience. By the end of the day, I had made some new friends. I was having a really good time. Typically, paintball players, unless they're just really just dickheads, they're going to be very welcoming, especially somebody like me that loves the sport and wants it to continue to grow. They're going to be very welcoming. They're going to give you tips. They're going to have fun with you, even if you're a rental player. Dude, seriously, go out there, have some fun. If you shoot somebody, say something nice like, hey, man, nice shooting. Or, if they shoot you, on the way out, give them a fist bump if you can. Sometimes it's a little bit too hectic out there. But, after the game, come up to people and be like, oh, man, that was a good shot, blah, blah, blah. Just, there's a lot to be learned from paintball as far as social skills too. Honestly, you can really learn how to kind of face adversity and make friends and all of that. It's really cool, honestly. So don't be intimidated. I know it can be a little scary watching these experienced guys running around and stuff like that, but they're going to be welcoming of you for the most part. There's some people that are not that cool, but I mean, that's with anything. That's just how life is. But seriously, get out there. Don't be scared. Don't go jump in your car and leave. Go have a good time. I promise you, you will have the most fun of your life your first day paintballing. So tip number 4 is going to be, and this is going to sound a little condescending, but let's be honest, be smart. And when I say be smart, I mean be smart in what you do when you get out there. Familiarize yourself with the rules, okay? Everybody knows, for the most part, you're supposed to always have a barrel cover on. You're supposed to keep your safety on, things like that. Make sure you're doing those things. Those safety rules and regulations are there for a reason. It's so that you don't hurt yourself, and it's so that you don't hurt anybody else. So make sure that you're paying attention to that, and also protect yourself, man. If you're playing with a group of friends and none of you know how to play paintball, yeah, maybe you can get away with wearing a t-shirt or whatever, but for the most part, if you're going to go somewhere as a walk-on and play with experienced players, wear some long sleeves, buy a jersey. I mean, do what you got to do to make sure that, you're protecting yourself, because I've seen where people get shot a couple times and they never want to play anymore, and now you're missing out on a really good sport because you're afraid to, that, the paintballs are going to hurt. But, it's actually avoidable. If you wear something a little bit bigger, baggier, long sleeve, you're going to be fine. Get something to protect your neck. I use a shamag that I put around my neck, but you can use just a regular scarf. You can wear a hoodie that will kind of cover it. You can wear, we got the whole COVID thing going on. People are wearing pullover masks anyways. Get one of the pullover masks that you put around your neck and just bunch it up on your neck, and, you'll be good. And another thing is, another part of being smart is make sure you're hydrating, bro. That is a really, really big deal. You people come out to the paintball field, and especially here in Florida, and play in the 85, 90 degree heat and don't drink any water and then wonder why they feel like shit at the end of the day. You need to be hydrating. You need to be giving yourself a break. If you're tired after a game and there's another game starting right away and you know that you're tired and you need a break, tell the ref that you want to get out or just walk off the field or do whatever you need to do. And sit out a round, sit out 2 rounds, go get some water, go chill out, just relax, eat something if you need to. Do what you got to do to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, it's never that serious. You really want to be careful, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby. You may have a job you need to go back to on Monday. You may need to go back to school Monday. Whatever the case may be, you want to leave the paintball field the same way that you came. And having a heart attack out there is definitely not a good idea. And heat stroke sucks. Trust me when I say that. Don't ask me why I say that. Just know that I know, okay? So make sure you guys are being smart. Follow the rules, hydrate, etc. So the last tip that I'm going to give you, and this is probably going to be the least important because it's definitely not a necessity, but I will say that the last tip that I have is, if you are able to, and if you're not, it's not a big deal, but if you're able to, buy your own gear. The reason I say that is because it may cost you a little bit to buy some gear. If you buy the bare minimum, you won't pay more than a few $100s. But in the long run, it saves you a lot of money, because now when you go to paintball fields, you're only paying for the price of admission and if you need to buy paint. You're no longer paying for a mask and a gun and a tank, which all of them are usually pretty shitty, by the way. Some fields take pretty good care of their guns and everything, but I mean, they're so used, They shoot you know, probably a few thousand shots every day. Like, that takes a toll on a gun. And, you know, no matter how well you take care of it, it just is better when it's your own. Because even if you buy the exact same gun, if you buy a Tippmann 98 Custom, which is a typical rental, and you and a rental player have the exact same gun, yours is still going to shoot 10 times better because yours is fresh out of the box when you get it. You know, it's brand new. You're maintaining it. You're taking care of it. You're making sure that it's, like, you know, well taken care of and clean and all that. Yours is going to shoot 10 times straighter and probably farther than the rental one is. On top of that, rental masks always fog up. They're dirty. They're nasty. I don't know about you, but I don't want to put my face in something that 10,000 other people would put their face in, especially with all this COVID shit going on. They do clean them, you know, they make sure they're sanitary, but I'd just rather have my own stuff, to be honest. And I'll be real with you, there is no better feeling in the world, especially after having played as a rental player, than walking up to the kiosk or the desk or whatever and going to pay your way in, and the guy looks at you and says, "Will you be needing some gear today, sir?" And you look right back at him and say, "No, sir, I don't. I brought all my own." That's an amazing feeling. You got your own gun, you got your own pods, you got your own pod pack, you got your own jersey if you buy one, your own mask. Like, it's seriously an amazing feeling. And honestly, it kind of helps you, like, not look like as new of a player, to be honest with you. You know, if your mask is, like, squeaky clean or whatever, like, yeah, people are probably still going to know. But, like, they know you've put some time into this because you got your own gear. So, all looks aside, though, because that really doesn't matter, it's just honestly going to save you more money in the long run, and it's going to perform better. You know, the guns that you're able to rent are just, they're not good. And it's not that the guns themselves are bad, it's just they're used. Like, no matter how much these people that own these places, like, try to clean them and whatever, like, it's just, people abuse these guns. People put dirty paintballs in it and jam it. They put the barrel in the dirt. Like, it's all kinds of stuff. So seriously, you can get some pretty good gear for pretty cheap. Like, you can at least get by. A perfect example I can give you. This is my Tippmann Stormer Tactical. It's a really cool gun. It's got a nice stock on it. It's got a nice shroud. It's got, you know, it's got sights to aim down. Like, this is a pretty decent gun. And, like, when I started playing paintball again as a regular player, as a gear owner, like, I used this gun for quite a while, and, like, it served me well. And, like, it's a $150 gun. You know, I know people think that every gun is $1,500, but, like, $150, this is 10 times better than any rental that you can get. I promise you. Even if you want to go a little higher end, $250, you got your own, basically your own M4 carbine. You can mag feed it. You can put a hopper on it. Like, $250 is, in the grand scheme of things, for paintball, that's not a lot of money. And this is a very quality gun. Like, it shoots well. It shoots straight. It shoots accurate. You know, everything about this gun I absolutely love. And there's so much cool stuff that you can do with it. I've got a mag with a coupler on it. Like, I can literally be out here shooting, run out of ammo, boom, quick reload. It's like playing Call of Duty in real life. For $250, who can beat that? So these are the points that I'm making. So with that being said, guys, that is going to be my 5 tips for beginner paintball players. I hope this was able to help you. If it was, definitely consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. If any of you guys know of anything else that might help these new guys, or, you know, you're a new guy yourself, but you've already thought of these things, comment them down below. I'd love to hear your opinions. And hey, Thrash Paintball is underway. I'm super excited to get the channel started. I cannot wait to get some gameplay for you guys. I'm going to have all types of tip videos coming out. I'm going to have all types of advice videos coming out, gear reviews, like what's in my bag, like you name it, it's going to be on this channel. So if there's any questions that you guys have that you want me to make a video on, comment them down below and I will make them. And until next time, guys, this is going to be Thrash Paintball signing out, and I'm going to see you guys next time.